Growth. It's one of those words that we hear all the time, but what does it really mean? For a long time, I thought growth was just something that came naturally with age, that it didn't require any real effort. But then I started realizing that growth isn't something that just happens to us. It is something that we have to actively work on. Growth is shaped by those moments when we are willing to face discomfort and confront what needs to change within us. To be honest, when I was younger, I didn't think much about growth. I didn't even understand the meaning behind it. I used to think that I had my whole life figured out, that my way of thinking and doing things was the right way, that I would never need to change. But at some point, I started to notice cracks in that mindset. My way of thinking wasn't working anymore. I kept feeling frustrated as I was stuck in the same struggles, repeating the same patterns. And I kept thinking, why doesn't anything change? Eventually, I had to ask myself, what if the problem isn't the world around me? What if it's me? I realized that the shift needed to happen from within, that I needed to grow. Once I stopped resisting, things slowly started to change. And today, I want to share with you some of those important signs that you are growing. These are usually things that only you or the people close to you might notice. Recognizing these signs can be a powerful reminder that you are on the right path in life, even when the progress feels slow. One of the first and most important signs of growth has to be self-awareness. Becoming self-aware is like a switch from living on autopilot to being fully conscious of your actions and their impact, not just on yourself, but on other people and the world around you. When you are self-aware, you start to notice patterns in your behavior that you might have been blind to in the past. You begin to see how certain actions lead to the same outcomes and how your reactions can affect other people in ways you never even expect. This awareness is deeper than simply knowing what to do. It's about understanding why you do it. You begin to question the motivations behind your actions, examining if they are driven by old habits, fears, or beliefs that don't even serve you anymore. Being aware of what is happening inside of us is the first step to breaking out of our patterns. As you become more aware of yourself, you naturally begin to make certain changes to your behavior. And this ability to make changes means that you are becoming more open to the world around you. You stop holding on to rigid beliefs and viewing the world from a narrow lens. Instead, you start living each day with a mindset of learning and curiosity. You recognize that your own thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, while they are real, they are not the ultimate truth. They are just one perspective among many. For example, when someone has a different opinion or experience than yours, you don't immediately reject it. You find yourself wanting to explore it instead, to see what you might learn from it. A big part of openness is learning to doubt your own insecurities. And growth teaches you that doubting any of your thoughts or beliefs isn't a weakness, it's a strength. It shows that you are open to evolve and adapt as life throws new situations and challenges your way. Whenever you try to change anything in your life, you naturally expose yourself to some discomfort. Quitting old habits, trying new things, challenging ourselves, each of these actions require us to get out of our sweet comfort zone and explore what is outside. We don't always know what will happen when we go through a change, and that unknown territory can feel really unsettling. But as you grow, you start to understand that this feeling of discomfort is necessary. It's a sign that you are pushing yourself and stretching your limits. And growth doesn't come from staying comfortable and remaining in your place. It comes from being able to walk into situations where the outcome isn't guaranteed. Just think about starting a new job. The first days can feel really uncomfortable. New tasks, unfamiliar faces, and that feeling you get that this place of work might be worse than the one before it. But by pushing through the first few weeks, you start to learn and adapt and grow in ways that wouldn't be possible if you stayed where you felt safe and confident. That discomfort is what leads to new skills and ultimately a sense of accomplishment. As you grow further in life, you start to develop a very crucial skill, the ability to let go of past pain, grudges, regrets, and even old versions of yourself that no longer fit your current identity. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or dismissing the past. It's about making peace with it instead, recognizing that some things are out of your control and choosing not to carry these burdens any longer. Letting go is about accepting what has happened and choosing not to let it define your current and future life. Growth comes when you stop replaying the negative past in your mind over and over and start seeing things from a different perspective that helps you move forward. And forgiveness is a natural part of this process. When you forgive others, it is not that you're saying what they did was okay, it is simply choosing not to let their actions control you. Forgiveness towards yourself is just as important. Self-forgiveness is about releasing the shame and the guilt for the mistakes you have made, and understanding that you did the best that you could with what you knew at the time. Imagine that you have a family member who hurt you deeply. Maybe they have said something that left a scar that you have been carrying for years. Holding on to that resentment might feel like protecting yourself, but in reality, it keeps you tied to the pain. Letting go in this scenario doesn't mean that you forget what happened or that you excuse the behavior of that family member. It means accepting that they may never realize the hurt that they caused, but you choose to not replay that memory and victimize yourself. Forgiveness then is the final step, deciding to free yourself from that trauma and prioritizing your peace over your pain. When you let go and forgive, you create mental space for healing and growth. It's like putting down a heavy backpack that you have been carrying for too long. That emotional weight is gone and you are free to move forward with a clear and fresh mindset. As you heal from the past and begin to see life through a more authentic lens, you naturally start seeking something deeper. You stop caring about superficial achievements and what others expect of you. Instead, you focus on what truly matters, a life that aligns with your values, passions, and a sense of purpose. This search for meaning marks a profound shift in the way you live your life. It is no longer about just getting by or trying to fit into a mold that someone else created. It's about living intentionally, with clarity and purpose. Growth pushes you to question what success truly means, not by society's standards, but by your own. The search for meaning requires courage to walk your own path, even if it is unconventional. In that pursuit, you prioritize the things that make your life feels uniquely yours, like your relationships, your career, or just the quiet moment where you feel most at peace. Finding meaning is the ultimate sign of growth because it shows that you are no longer living according to a script written by someone else. You are taking all the lessons, all the experiences, and all the struggles that you've been through and using them to create your own story, a story that reflects who you truly are. When you reach the point of seeking meaning in your life, you realize that growth is not about the end result. It's also not about having everything figured out or arriving at some perfect destination. It's really about the choices that you make every day. The choice to learn, to adapt, to let go, and to live intentionally. And honestly, that is what makes the journey incredibly interesting. It's messy, unpredictable, and sometimes even frustrating. But it's also deeply rewarding in ways you can't always see in the moment. Growth sneaks up on you, as one day you start to look back and realize how far you have come. So, if you are in the middle of it all, figuring things out, questioning yourself, or trying to take tiny steps forward, just know that you are exactly where you need to be. Every choice you make to keep moving, even when it feels hard, is proof that you are growing, and that is something to be proud of. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.